Alright, so here is my video entry for Jimmy Gunn's little contest going on for making a video on your most memorable sporting event, with family and friends. I haven't been to a whole lot of sporting events. I'd like to go to a lot more, but time, money, all that good stuff just never really pans out for the most part. So the one that's fondest to me that I actually have gone to, if you want to call it a sport, uh, WWE SmackDown wrestling. A little cheesy, I know, being a grown ass man still watching wrestling, but hey, uh, I went with my wife and my stepdaughter, who I don't consider my stepdaughter, I consider my daughter. Uh, been around with her since she was about 8. Uh, treat her just like my daughter, like my other daughters. I've got 2 daughters with my ex-wife, and I've got 2 stepdaughters with my wife now. Range from age 7 all the way up to 19. So you can say I've got my hands full. Uh, but anyways, been a big wrestling fan since I was little. Um, you know, always loved watch wrestling with my brother when he was in town. I was a huge Ultimate Warrior fan. I had the bed buddies. We'd take and jump across the room, land elbows on them on our beds and stuff like that. So my daughter, who was say 12, I think 12 years old, around the time that SmackDown came to town. She's a big John Cena fan, loves John Cena. So she sat down, made a big old poster board, printed out a whole bunch of pictures and helped me draw some stuff on it. And at the time, it was when Daniel Bryan was real big, making his push for the belt, all that. Called him the Flying Goat. So I made a huge poster board with a giant flying goat on it, and just went ridiculous with it. So when we went to the venue, decent seats, not great, but good seats. You could see everything without binoculars, so that was nice. Daniel Bryan wasn't going to be there. John Cena still wasn't going to be there, but we didn't care at the time. We just loved being there. Anytime everybody came out, throwing up the signs, rocking them, screaming, I had a freaking blast. And that was when the Shield was around originally before they broke up, got back together. If anybody knows about any of that, they came down on our side through the seats, so that was cool. But we had a blast. It was probably the first event I'd ever actually gone to with her and my wife. So needless to say, after the event was done and buying souvenirs and all that, I spoiled her freaking rotten. Got her all the wristbands, the headbands, the T-shirts. She loved it. I loved it. I still got the posters out in my garage. Never gonna get rid of those. So it's always a memory that I'll get to have and look back on and think about that day. One of the best nights I've had with my daughter and my wife. Just kind of building that relationship from a broken one that she had before. So one other event, one professional game. The team here in Bakersfield baseball. It's had many names: Bakersfield Dodgers, Bakersfield Blaze, all that good stuff. Went to a game with my dad. It was a Bakersfield Blaze game. It was him, one of his coworkers. He had tickets, so he took me, and I was probably 19, 20 years old. So this is still a while back ago. He had a friend of his running the event and asked me if I wanted to try and hit a baseball over a specific part of the backfield, over the wall. It was over one of the advertisements or something like that. If I did, I got a $100 certificate. Well, I played baseball in high school, and football and basketball, so I'm pretty athletic. Sure, I'll take it. So we get down for a while. Right before the game started, they get me down there. They got it set up on a tee and everything, and never played t-ball. So my first swing, needs to say, I swung for the fences, and I hit the tee, not the ball. I murdered that tee, just tore it up. So now looking like a jackass in front of everybody in the stands. The second one, I'm a little pissed off for messing up that first swing, and I try to let it rip. Uh, I connected with it, line drive. Didn't go very far, needless to say. I kind of topped it a little bit, so it went straight for a minute, just went straight into the ground. So my third one, I felt even more nervous because I felt even more like a jackass. Couldn't get the ball up in the air. So I took my time, and thought about it and just took a big deep breath and just swung. Uh, got up in the air, cracked the living crap out of it, got it up over the back wall, just not over the ad I needed to get it over. So this I didn't win anything, but uh, it was cool, having my dad sitting in the stands, hooting and hollering, screaming out my name, saying that's my boy. That was a pretty memorable experience right there. It's one of the few times I actually got to go out somewhere with my dad besides, off roading every once in a while when it rained here in Bakersfield, which it doesn't do often. So, other than that, I mean, no real big sporting events I've been to. One other memory, I didn't even get to go, but my ex-wife took my two little daughters out. They were 7 and 11. She took them out to the Cowboys training camp. I'm a huge Dallas Cowboys fan. Huge Jason Witten fan. I've loved that guy ever since he started playing for Dallas, and I've loved Dallas ever since I was about 5 years old. So when she took him to that, that was cool. My daughters, they like to tease me and root for other teams and stuff when I'm watching football, but when it comes down to it, they root for the daddy's team. So after they went down to the training camp, they got to see Zeke run out. My daughter got David Irving's autograph on a hat. She was so stoked about that. Don't even know who the guy is, but she was stoked about it. So that's all that matters. And that's her favorite player now. But they got to go in the locker room, and my ex-wife had them stand in front of Jason Witten's locker, and she took a picture with him. And that picture is on all my screensavers, on my phone, my work computer, my laptop. Just because my oldest daughter wanted to do it for me, and I wish I could have been there for that, but I'm not gonna go out of state with my ex-wife. You can it's for my kids. There's a reason why she's an ex. We'll leave it at that. But for my kid to be thinking about me when they're out of state at an event, having fun, and to want to take time out of their day to go do something for their dad, just more than amazing. I couldn't ask for more out of my kids. I love them to death. And that's something I'll always keep up. Have that picture blown up in a frame on my wall the rest of my life. So yeah, those are my few little instances of memories of sports games or anything like that. That's what you want to call any of them. So yeah, hope you appreciate the video. You guys keep putting out videos yourself. Love watching them. Love how you and your daughter interact and have fun. Nothing better than that, man. Take care. Thanks.